Greetings and welcome to my studio space. I'm very happy that you're here to join me today. I wanted to share with you a portrait that I did of Saint Mother Teresa. And this was done several years ago, and today I wanted to share some of my artwork with you. Just something on a personal level. I'm going through kind of a huge overhaul of my art studio space, and all of my paintings are everything is all rearranged right now, and there's changes going on and stuff. So I haven't been able to do a lot of painting on my big sacred art kind of pro-life works. So what I thought I would share with you today, and probably next week and the next little while until I get settled back, in a good space again for doing my art, is just some of the work that I've worked on in the past. And so this is, of course, everyone knows this beautiful saint, a saint of our times, someone that I deeply love and pray to for her intercession, someone that really speaks to our culture, especially those of us that are very involved and concerned and really embrace this culture of how important the pro-life movement is. And I really believe Saint Mother Teresa is just the epitome of how much of her life she spent, her beautiful work and her love for each and every person, those who are both suffering, those who are dying, and those who are unborn and being born that are not wanted. Anyone she would open her arms and her life to and give everything to. She's just such a beautiful saint. And I really have to say, when I was painting this portrait of her several years ago, I at the time, it was before we had started our family with my little girls, and I was doing a lot of commissioned portraits, and which I love to do, but I was really feeling I had such a deep conversion, and I really felt just a love for these beautiful saints and for our Lord, and so I started doing more sacred art. And when I did this picture of Mother Teresa, I used soft pastels. Now, soft pastels is a medium that I worked in a lot doing portraits. It's very soft for skin tones, and this, of course, is using the black and whites and grays. I have a little bit of warm colors that are in here as well. Just technically, as far as the art goes. Now, we had a studio that I would work in. And I decided that I wanted to, do a portrait of Mother Teresa. Now, with it, I was gonna. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about the art in a second here. But when I was painting this portrait of her, just completely doing it out of. I just really love her, and I wanted actually to be able to display her in my studio, so that because people know this beautiful woman, they know her face, and so I started painting this portrait, and it honestly it was such a blessing to me to be able to do this. I took it from another photograph, of course, and I was painting away, and I just still remember how much peace and love I felt when I was painting this portrait, and actually how quickly it went. I don't, when I used to work full time, I could do my art, a lot quicker than I do now, but I just felt really a beautiful flow, and I pretty much worked on it from start until finish. And so, and then, this portrait came about. Now, doing it in soft pastels, of course, I was very blessed at that time to have a studio, and my husband would do all of the framing for us. So he made a beautiful frame for this portrait of her. You might notice all of the, I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. I have actually the picture lying flat on a table right now, just because there's so much reflection. You can see, my hand reflecting and stuff in my iPhone. But I don't know if you can see really well, but it's in a beautiful frame, and he's done layers and layers of mats and cut out in the mat, and he always used to do the framing, which was really wonderful as well. And of course, with soft pastels, it's different than the mediums I've been showing you working in as far as the oil paintings and the acrylics and that. With soft pastels, when they're completed, they always have to be framed behind glass and then set, you know, behind a mat so that there's that space between the glass and the actual portrait, because the, you know, the chalk pastel, the soft pastel would rub off against the glass if it was right up against the glass. So there always has to be that space of matting and then, you know, the glass over top. And so I just wanted to share this with you, and just a few thoughts on, you know, just how beautiful her work was in her life and how inspired I have been, you know, just growing in my own faith and growing in my devotion to Saint Teresa. And there's you know, just things that you learn about her, how beautiful she surrendered herself to the Lord, and how she would be so concerned about mothers and about the babies that were unwanted. And I even heard a story recently of how she would actually go right into the abortion mill, and she would just, you know, gently tug the mother out and say, "Come with me, I will take your baby." And to me, that was very touching. And just, you know, all of the work that she did for, I mean, in this whole sadness in our culture about the recent, you know, goings on with little baby Alfie and how he died, and that, I mean, she is really someone who would, you know, go completely opposite of that. She would always try to give as much dignity and help to those who were suffering and dying. And baby Alfie was completely wanted by his beautiful mother and father, and against their will, he was, you know, the care was taken away from him. And so these are very important things in our culture, and just an example, a towering, beautiful example of this woman of faith in our times is, I believe, just so important. And we look to her for, you know, guidance and for her beautiful intercession. And so this is what I have to share with you today. I wanted to share this portrait that I did of Saint Teresa several years ago that I still have. My husband did the beautiful framework, and then again, this is done in soft pastels, in blacks, whites, and grays, both a mixture of the actual chalk pastels and then with the pastel pencils as well. I like to work with the Carbothello, the Sabello, and different kinds of Rembrandts and that of the soft pastel work. So yeah, and so I think this is what I have to share with you today. I'm so thankful that you joined me in my art stream. It's not a very long art stream. Today I just had a few thoughts on that, and I hope that you are just to be assured that you're in our prayers every single day, and we really appreciate the way that that we can share in the beauty of this prayer community, to be able to bring our prayers to the Lord and to the Blessed Mother, Our Lady of Lourdes, and to beautiful saints like Saint Mother Teresa. And so I hope you all have a continued blessed Easter season, and that's it for now, and have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye-bye.